Alright, real quick, I just want to speak on something, and through my videos, you may not be able to pick up on this, but that's fine. But I just want to speak on being crazy and why you should be. I think that I am, and I wish I could buy into the notion that just it's worth being crazy. I mean, of course, I bought into it a little bit, and it's not that I don't want to. It's just I feel such a pull from the outside world, which I will work on, but at my best, I am crazy. And here's the thing. It's like being a villain in a story where obviously the protagonist is supposed to be victorious, is supposed to be called upon. Oftentimes, the villain feels like what he or she is doing is the right thing. All right, so kind of likewise, if I feel like I am this crazy person in comparison to the world around me, naturally I start to think that my craziness, my insanity is the norm, and what I see around me is insanity. That's crazy to me. All right? Because if even as a whole, even as the masses, they can put a definition on what it means to be crazy, then so can I. And it can differ from theirs greatly, because you know what? This is what we do in my world. And this is what we see as crazy. This is what we see as nice. See, I put out a video not too long ago about why nice guys finish last. And you look up the root definition of nice, and you got foolish, stupid, all those things. But anyway, because I have been called crazy many times, and I think I kept a great deal of my craziness away from society, because you know what, so what? I guess when it's time to show it's time to show. I mean, I'm not gonna be streaking, down the street and just doing a bunch of dumb shit that doesn't make sense. But something's going to show eventually. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know how much I put out there that people deem to be crazy. But the further I get along in life, the more I know that I have to put out, because I don't know all of the people that I will be speaking for by continuing on my journey for however long that may be. And all I have to do is show up and show the essence of, my essence, show the pieces of me. And as I go on in life, I start to get more and more tired of this life. And when you're tired, you start to care a little less, in a sense where it's like, okay, I'm going to put this out, you judge it. I'm going to put this out, you judge it. Whatever you choose to do, go ahead. But understand that I'm going to be spending less time on what you have to say about my contribution and more time on the actual contribution, because there is limited amount of time here. I don't know when the final moments are going to be, but I think it's always good to leave a great body of work behind, no matter what that may be. And in trying to appropriate yourself by mimicking a machine that was not designed for you to prosper in the first place, you are completely missing out on a great deal of what your purpose may be here in this life. Crazy people run the world, baby. Yeah, you may say a lot of rich and evil people may rule this world. I'm not going to agree or disagree. But what I will say is that a lot of people that we do idolize, that we do marvel at, on many levels, from top to bottom, they're just the crazy people. They're just the eccentric people, It could be your local bookstore, a local thrift store by you or whatever, and it's just that always that employee who just knows how to light everybody up. All right, you don't have to be rich in monetary meaning and a monetary meaning to really make a difference, to be magnetic, to be remarkable. All right. Um, but also that's an understanding that you're going to have to take on the world around you that isn't necessarily equipped to cater to the road less traveled. There are fewer blueprints. You know, you got to get a little bit more creative. All right, it's like it's driving without a GPS, man. You just got a map, like literally a map. So you gotta go back to ways of old. You gotta simplify things in a sense. You gotta get to the root of it all, the non-glamorized version, the part that they don't want to show you. They just want to show you the highlights. You know what I'm saying? Um. So when I talk about uh being crazy, I'm mostly talking about the taking a road less traveled. Because it obviously is going to make more sense to follow a road that has already led to something. All right. So you would say it was crazy if I just decided to drive to Ohio with no GPS, no map, nothing. I've never been to Ohio before, I don't think. You know, but oftentimes that's the better route to take in regards of self exploration and seeking overall fulfillment in life, trying to get more out of life. And it's going to require you to get lost. And as you get lost in life, you start to ask the right questions. And asking the right questions is like asking people, quite literally in actual life, do you know how to get here? Do you know how to get there? And over time, you start to piece it together. But also, a correlation to keep the two together is that when you're driving and you don't necessarily know where you're going, it's taking on a role of bravery. You know, bravery, like just learning how to swim and you're swimming in 8 feet. And you know your feet can't touch the ground without your head being under also. But you do it anyway because it can be done. Alright? And through that process, you will be more fulfilled, have less regret. You'll be more magnetic. You'll have a lot more to show for it. I mean, it's going to make for a hell of a life. Especially when you lose the need to try to please other people. I think it's crazy that we still have a society that's catered towards people pleasing. I get it, but to me that's crazy. All right. But that's all I really want to say. I feel like that I can double down on this, double back and make another video as I start to open up more to what the ideal version of crazy is to me. I think that it's going to require you to see a lot of what could be, you know, and also put different perceptions on what is, you know what I'm saying? And then over time, I guess your perception of what crazy is would change anyway. I mean, like I said, mine did. So when I speak of being crazy, I'm kind of borrowing the societal's version of it, if that makes sense. Not necessarily my definition. Because, like, again, what they may consider to be crazy, I may consider to be, you know, passion or just obsessiveness or whatever. And you can't have too much of anything without people calling you crazy nowadays. Like, they call you crazy for being honest. They'll call you crazy for complimenting somebody's fucking breasts because they it's the focal point of the picture, and I'm not gonna be the one to talk around it. I'm sorry. Like, these unwritten rules of how you're supposed to talk. It sounds pretty outdated to me in a society full of people who are unhappy with censoring themselves. And if you told the world, "Hey, world, for this one particular day, you can look, everything's uncensored, and you will get away with it," watch what comes out. Watch what comes out. It'll be a bunch of bullshit, and it'll be a bunch of masterpieces all the same. Um, but anyway, man. Hope you got something out of this. Stay crazy. Like only a man talking in the closet can be. You know what I'm saying? Alright.